Hi, welcome to this Plan With Me video for April 2020. So let's dive into my bullet journal. So I'm starting off by doing the calendar for the April page. I'm just flicking back to see the moon phases for this month, just to make sure that I get them in the right places. Then I'm going in with my fine line pen and just drawing in the grid where my Monday to Saturday and Sunday days are going to go, and then put the dates in underneath. I've decided I really want to start tracking the moon phases and really keeping up to date with where they are in the cycle. And also I'm learning more about the zodiac signs and birthstones and ruling planets and things like that. So on this page I'm also going to add in details like that. So here I've filled everything out. You can see at the bottom, then I'm going to add in these extra details. I will come back in later and add in the actual moon phases, but I keep flicking back to my March page just to double check that I'm adding in everything that I want to add in. So I'm now going to add in the writing for the actual April, so filling in the font, just going around my pencil guidelines. I have sketched this in pencil initially just to sort of work out the overall composition and layout of the page. And then I'm using my cutouts, which all of these are available on my online shop. They're part of the beautiful journal bundle kit, which you can get as a download. And I've printed them onto sticker paper, which is just, it makes it easier, so you can just peel the backs off. You've not got to use glue, but if you've only got normal paper and a glue stick, that's absolutely fine. I'm also using some of my favourite washi tapes, just to add in some colour and pattern. And already the page is brightened up, and it's got a lot of decorative things going on, and it only took a few minutes, so it's quite a fun and easy way to brighten up the page. So I'm just going in to add in the last few details, things like a bit of colour in the font, which I'm doing with a coloured pencil, nothing fancy. Just thinking about colours as well that I've already got on the page and trying to stick with that. And then I'm using my fine line again just to go over all my wording and make it a bit bolder, just so that it all stands out. So already this page is nearly done. It's just a case of filling in all of the details and everything that I wanted to keep track of and get down on the page. And then we're going to turn over, and here this page is going to be, traditionally it would be a habit tracker, but this whole journal is dedicated to my self-care practice. So for me this is the self-care tracker. And again, I'm starting with all of my cutouts, which I've printed on sticker paper, so just playing around with where I'm going to put them and which ones I'm going to use. And then I'm drawing in a table. So I've got all the days for the month, all the dates, and then I'm writing in each of the self-care items. So things like yoga or workout, meditation, oracle cards, making art, journaling. So it's all the things that I like to do on a daily basis or like to include in my daily practice, which helps my mindset shift into a better place, and it helps me to take care of myself on a spiritual level. As well as, to nourish my body as well with things like healthy food and exercise. So I've added a few little doodles in and just putting in my stickers, and then I'm going in to add in the font that says self-care tracker. And again, I've done it in exactly the same way that I did the April title on my title page. And so I did use pencil lines, so you'll see me occasionally going in with the rubber just to rub out all the lines that I no longer need. So the second page for the spread is going to be a mood, moon and me cycles tracker. And this is really interesting. So I did this for March, and I'm basically copying exactly the same layout. As you can see, I use my compass to draw in lots of different circles. And the idea is that it's a mood tracker, but I'm also going to track what moon cycle it is, and then my personal cycle as well. And I do find that having this on the same page with my self-care tracker, it's quite good to reflect back and see if I was perhaps maybe struggling mood-wise on days that I hadn't done so much self-care, and I do find that it generally balances out. So on the days I've spent more time with self-care, I tend to feel calmer, more relaxed, and just better about life. But here you can see I'm going in, drawing my entire sort of orb grid, and so each one of these lines is then going to be for a different day of the month. So I'm just now writing in the different dates. Excuse my head, it does get in the way a little bit. I'm also then adding in the moon phases, so that's going to be the next ring that goes around the edge of the dates. And here I'm now going in with my black fine line again, just to add in all of these details. And now I've got the layout cemented as to where I want it to go. This can then finalize the page. So here you can see I've drawn in the whole grid, and now I'm just going in and drawing in details. So here I'm drawing in the full moon, and at the bottom then you'll see the new moon. Again, drawing in the fonts for my title, so Mood, Moon and Me. And again, I've done it in the same style, this sort of bubble writing style, which I've done on the previous 2 pages. And then this at the bottom, I've just drawn some squares which I'm going to colour in, so each different colour will be assigned to a different mood or feeling. So I've got things like anger, frustration, calm, stressed. So again, that's something I can track on the orb. Now I'm using one of my sticker cutouts, which is a painting of the moon, just to add into the centre, just to finish off this page. And then the rest of that grid I'll fill out as the month goes along. So here, this is another page from my journaling cutout bundle. I'm just using some of these title words. So this entire spread is going to be for my daily card pulls. So that's something I really love to do. And again, it translates well with the self-care and the mood tracker. So here I'm just filling out boxes. So there's a box for every single day. And each day I use the same deck for the whole month, but I will shuffle and pull one card for that day, and it gives me a theme or energy reading. So here I've just gone in with my black fine line and drawn around each square. I've then created a little black box in the corner which the date goes in. So I've used my white gel pen and drawn in each date. So here again I'm just finding decorative things, different coloured shapes, and either gluing and sticking them down, but playing around with the composition until I'm happy with how it looks. So again, just rubbing out any guidelines that I have, pencil lines, and then going in and gluing in the words and some of these feathers. So this is all decorative, and I'll fill out this whole page as the month goes along. I've really enjoyed doing this for the March month. It's been really nice to see patterns and where similar cards and themes are coming up throughout the month. So the next few pages I'm not going to do now, but I'm just going to leave them blank so that they're ready to fill out when the time comes. So I want to do a full 2-page spread for both the new moon and the full moon in April. So I'm just making some titles there so that they're ready to go when I start. And here we are at my final page that I'm setting up for today, which is going to be a weekly spread. So again, I have initially drawn this out with pencil lines, so I'm just going in with my black fine line now just to draw out the whole grid. And for this week's layout, there's so many different ways you can do these layouts, but I decided to add like quite a large border around the edge, so again I can add in decorative things. You'll see here in the Sunday column I decided I was going to put a lot of pictures next to it, but then I completely forgot that I was going to be doing this downward box, so it's more like a portrait style, so I accidentally added in the line across, but there you go. You do make mistakes in your journal and it's okay, so I've just used a bit of paper, cut it out and stuck it over. So here I'm drawing in some details. This is just some decorative vines or leaves, and I did draw a guide first of all with my pencil line. It just makes me feel a bit more confident that I'm getting my layout how I want it, and then I'm drawing in with the pen over the top, and then it's back to using my cutouts again, and then just playing around with different pieces, and it's very fluid and intuitive. I never really have an idea of what I'm going to put where. I just pull out what I have in my little box and see what works together. Now this page is images I found from unsplash.com. So that was a full moon picture, which I think will be perfect for the full moon spread. And right now I'm really loving this water and mountains image. So again, it was just a case of finding an image that I think is going to work for this spread and putting it in. So I've just got these black pieces of craft paper, and I wanted to reflect the black in the mountains there and just bring some more darker imagery across the page. So I'm using my white gel pen just to add in some little details, and then playing around again with the composition as to where I'm going to put everything. So here I'm using the gel pen to draw in some little leaf vines, which again is reflected in the initial leaves that I did. So trying to bring some sort of balance to the page and similar motifs that all kind of work together as a whole piece like when it's finished. So again, just still playing around. Some of the pieces I'm really happy with, so I decide to stick them down. You'll see as well the photo of the mountains. I have stuck it over my illustration, but I really like the idea of that poking out from behind. So again, using my glue stick where I need to and sticking in different pieces. And there are a few gaps, so what I am going to do is do a lot of doodling, but that usually takes me ages, so I will come back to that later when I've done that. So last page here is the initial cover page, and I'm reflecting back to my first April spread where I pulled a card which was the Son of Pentacles. So I'm using that as the theme for April from my yearly card spreads. So here I've cut out another image which I think is going to be really go really well with this spread, and there's a little post-it note on there next to the coffee cup that says enjoying the little things. So again, pulling out little cutouts, trying to play around with the composition where this is going to work together, and using the energy of the Son of Pentacles, I've gone with some wording here which says dedication, find joy in the process. So I think that's going to be my theme for April, so it's perfect for this title page. So here I am then, just sticking everything down once I'm happy with where I want it to go. I'm also using my pencil to draw out a border and then playing around with where the wording is going to go. And again, I just use that as a guideline, and then when I'm happy with the layout, I go in with my my fine line pen, my black fine liner, and write everything in. So here I'm writing in all the wording initially. Some of it I'm doing in that bubble writing again, and then what I do is I go over the top of it again with the same fine line pen just to make it a bit more bold so it stands out more. So I just keep going with this, and then what I want to do is add some colour, because compared to the rest of the spread this is now looking quite plain still. So what I'm going to do is pull out my watercolours for the first time this month and add in a bit of colour in that border, and then maybe do some sort of black outline around the edge. So again, using my coloured pencil to colour in the joy bubble writing, and I've used exactly the same colour that I did for the April, so it does balance across the two pages. And here I am just using a bit of colour from my watercolour palette, just to create a really fun and bright border, just to lift the mood of the page and make it a bit more interesting and colourful to look at. So already this is really coming together, and I really love working with watercolours. This is something I want to do a lot more for future spreads. So it was really fun to play around with these for this title page. So it's looking almost done, but I really wanted to add in some sort of dark border as well, so I decided to go in and do my favourite, which is the hand-drawn stars, so it looks like a midnight sky. And again, this process takes me ages and I really love it. It's really meditative. So I just use a really fine black pen, I draw out each star, and then I just colour in around the edge with black, and there's the finished piece. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'll now show you a flip through of everything, but here's the final details of that title page with everything all finished, and I think it's going to be really nice to reflect back on this mantra for the whole of April. There I've filled out my moon phases as well, so I've got all my details and everything that I need in there to track my moon cycles. So I'm really pleased with this initial title page for April. So if we turn over the page, and there we have my self-care tracker. I have added in a few extra details here, mainly some of my favourite washi tape down the side to add in a bit of colour. There you can see the details of all the handwritten self-care prompts that I'm going to be following, and it'll be interesting to see how many I do each day. So here's the mood tracker as well, so I'm looking forward to filling that in. So let's turn over the page, and then this was the final spread for my daily card spread, and I decided it needed to be called the card of the day, so I did handwrite that in because it's not really a spread for each day, it's just a one card pull. But yeah, that's ready to go, so I'm really pleased with that. Again, I've got the hand-drawn details down the side and my lovely washi tape, which is such a quick and easy way to add pattern and colour to a page. Then if we turn over again, we've got the full moon items there ready to make that spread on the full moon, and again the new moon page ready to go. And then here you can see all the details that I drew in for the weekly spread. So it's that same star midnight sky that I drew on the title page. And there you have it. That's some close-ups there. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed seeing my process for setting up my April bullet journal. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.